Hello, I'm Julia Cordova. Thank you so much for subscribing to my YouTube channel and liking my videos. I super appreciate it. I also want to say I hope you are having a fantastic holiday season, whatever you celebrate, and I hope you have a very, very happy new year in 2022. So last week, even though it was a short week in the markets, it was not without drama. But if you follow me on YouTube, you saw me outline where I would buy last week. And then if you follow me on Twitter, you saw me buy that area live. And yay, if you got in on some of that action with me, we got some money from Santa Claus. Yay. I also said my highest conviction trade last week was that gold, silver, and miners would close the week up, which I was very nervous about, of course, at the beginning of the week. But yay, Santa Claus pulled through for everybody last week, and even gold bugs and silver investors and miners investors came out on top. So what's going to happen this week? Really don't know again in the markets. It's a really interesting chart, actually, though it looked super bullish last week, and maybe it'll continue into next week. There are some things that we have to look out for, which I will outline when we look at the charts, and I'll give you the specific levels I will be trading in the markets. As far as gold and silver and miners go, I think we will have yet another week of continuation. I believe that all three of those things will continue up, and I will tell you why when we get to the charts. And so, you ready? Whoop. All right, let's talk charts. So let's start off by looking at ES or SPX weekly futures. So how great, by the way, was this 45.21 level that I outlined last week? And so when we got there, I bought it like I said that I would. I actually bought a little bit early. I got FOMO, okay? And the reason I did that, even though it looked like poop, the reason I got FOMO was because I was reading all of this just doom and gloom from people, and I thought, oh no, those people are going to get screwed. I mean, no, I'm not, if you were one of them, I'm sorry. I'm not happy about that. Of course I'm not happy about that. But anyway, I started scaling in about the 45.31 level, but I left some room to go all the way to 21. And then I held my conviction on that because I just did not believe that we would just continue the poop, just given all of the sentiment, all of the that I was reading. So anyway, but if you also follow me on YouTube, you saw me say that if it did get down here, that would be an area to buy, but it wouldn't be the best thing in the world. Well, why would I say that? Especially considering how bullish this week's looks and how we ended up. Well, because if you look at this RSI, we have some negative divergence here. So from here to here is 2 points of divergence, and then yet another point here, right? So boom, 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 and boom, boom, boom. So higher closing, barely, but lower RSI, not barely. So, and even though it did, let's zoom in on this, it did close. This is hard to get above, right? Because it's two levels together. Even though it did close above here, I am just a little bit tenuous for this week. I am not the super bull that I see everywhere. And I'm a little concerned that we might have a McDonald's top. Okay, I'm not saying that we do, but and of course, you know, my target is higher, so I don't know yet, but I'm just keeping my options open. I am not going to be dogmatic in any which direction. However, I will say we've noticed that this buying, as it happens, has slowed down. Our first signal was here. Our second signal was here. I'm not going to go over why again. And so I'm just going to play this week level to level, okay? Now somebody did ask me, is this a weird sort of bullish formation on the daily and et cetera? I mean, and I kind of said, well, maybe it is an ascending triangle, but when I tried to draw one of my ascending triangles on it, it was not triangulating well. So the net is I have no idea what's going to happen this week, but I'm watching this bearish divergence, and above 4779 would be a breakout, and as long as it holds 4608.75 this week, it is still bullish. I would not be surprised to see a week of chop, just to keep everybody everybody in check as we go into the new year. So yeah, but I think one more trip down here would definitely, by the way, if it does get below 4608 and then starts to try and get down here, definitely not going to buy that one, going to sell that one when it gets there if I didn't sell it before that, okay? But I'll keep you updated on Twitter. Not sure how much I'm going to be trading this week. It sort of depends on the the rest of the holidays. Okay, so let's look at the daily. So, I mean, it certainly does not look toppy on the daily, just given the number of wicks happening here. And, you know, I don't believe that this is an inverse head and shoulders because nobody's shoulder looks like this or this, okay? But, you know, basically above these wicks, it's starting to look similar to, remember how small caps was real annoying for a long time? It's starting to look similar to that, okay? It could be that we're going to be range bound for a while. I don't know yet, okay? But anyway, above these wicks, clearly bullish, okay? I have resistance if it happens on Sunday night / Monday at 4751.75 on the daily, okay? A little bit before this resistance on the weekly. And then I have support if it happens. And, you know, there's a wide range here. So I'm sorry, but that's just the way it is, of 4642.25. Okay, okay. Now let's look at Nasdaq. Let's start off by looking at the weekly chart here. So this is starting to look bull flaggy-ish. So I went ahead and I took the slope that I've been using all this time and I applied it here. Why I didn't do it before, I don't know. Lazy ass. So anyway, a breakout for NQ futures or Nasdaq would be 16,360.25. And then the next level of resistance I have above that in the channel is 16,946. Not sure if we get there or not, but those are the figures I'm watching. Below this 16,360.25, I have support at 15,260.25 before this 15,209 level. So I'll be watching that. And, you know, even though this closed slightly lower, I mean, again, look at this RSI. I don't think this is the most bullish thing in the world short term, okay? Like, I mean, this is, it's okay because it's not divergence. I just don't think it's super bullish. And it's like right below that RSI resistance still. Doesn't mean it won't close a little bit up, but just something to look out for next week and the week after. Okay, let's look at small caps. This is just a mess. I really don't know how y'all trade it. But anyway, so the figure, it needs to hold. Well, let's look at RSI first, right? It was right at support here, but then fell through, came back tested, came back, but now a higher low in RSI and now above. So yay, that's actually a pretty good sign longer term. But what needs to happen this week is I'd like to see RSI close above this support line here, okay? Which means that price could even close a little bit lower. That would be okay as long as the RSI support is maintained. And I'm going to say just a key level here for this week is 2185. Above, bullish. Below, not so great. But I mean, look at these wicks. I don't know. So the breakout, however, would be above 2272.6 and then back above this rocket line and zoomies, like zoomies. Okay, let's look at Bitcoin. All right, so Bitcoin kind of got back above this key level and really had a very nice holiday week all in all. And right now it's threatening to get back above 51,515, which for me, even though I have my key level down here and this sort of is a bull bear overall, this is sort of the next level that Bitcoin needs to get through, 51,515, before I think it has some potential to go up a lot more. In fact, if you kind of close your eyeballs here, don't close them all the way, squint your eyeballs, and you can see that we're sort of in a gigantic channel. I'm not going to move this channel line up here because I just didn't like the way it looked when I tried it before, but just know that potentially we'll have some zoomies areas into the, maybe the, I'm going to say the 56,000 level or so, if it can get above this 51,515 in any dramatic fashion. Okay, so if it can close above there on the daily, that's what I'm going to look for. Okay, let's look at Ethereum. Okay, so same kind of dealio. We're back above this 3969 key, but having some trouble getting above this next level of resistance, which for this would be for Monday, actually, is 4124.89. Okay, so once we get above that, I think we actually have a really good shot at hitting this next pink line. This is a new pink line, by the way. Don't know why I was so lazy, because it's the same slope from here, which I've had since, by the way, way before any of this happened. I put it on and people are like, you're weird, Cordova. Why are you putting a trend line on one thing? Because I trust my slopes, okay? So anyway, I move the line here. What do you know? I don't know why I didn't do that before. I'm sorry. Anyway, I do think we'll get back here if we have some close above 4124.89. Need to get above this green line, go to the pink line. Yay. Okay, now let's look at Doge. So I did buy Doge last week, and I did it on Friday, not Friday. What was the last day? Thursday. I did it on Thursday, noonish. I should have tweeted about it, but I just was not, I don't know. I just didn't, I was like, that's a weird tweet on a holiday because everybody was wishing Merry Christmas and stuff. I should have been like buying it Merry Christmas. But anyway, I added to my Doge position on Friday, and so far it's been pretty good, but it's not doing much, okay? I'm not going to act like that was like the best thing in the world. However, here's what needs to happen. Now, and here's, let me explain. Here's why I did it. Okay. So, the day before we'd had kind of a like getting above these MAs, and then no, we're not, right? And then these MAs are starting to curl up. Okay, they got together on this day, and it looked like we were going to do it again. I was like, you know what, this kind of looks like just the price action that takes place usually when price is getting above the MAs. Whenever price is above the MAs, it is bullish. The higher the time frame of the MA, and the more the price is above it, the more bullish it is, right? So right now, we're getting above the 9 and the 20, right? So that's where we crossed. Now, if we get above the 50, which is this orange one, it'll be super bullish. You see what I'm saying? Yeah, you see what I'm saying. Anyway, finally, and I wanted to point out something else. Okay. So now, I pointed out before that I didn't tweet about Doge, even though, Elon pumped it this day, because I was afraid that it would do one of these deals, which it did. Now, if you look, you can see this pattern over and over again. Whenever it's pumped, it comes down dramatically and then has a lower high, and then poops, okay? It's pretty consistent here, okay? And in fact, so far here. However, why do I think this is going to break the trend and start actually going up? Because that's a good question, because these things have been sort of, I don't know. When I looked at it before, it was obvious to me, and now I'm like, I don't remember what I said or what I thought, but it's because I just think it's time. So, all right. Anywho, let's look at gold miners. Oh my gosh, it's a holiday, y'all. Cut me some slack. Okay, so anyway, with gold miners, let's see. So we did close the week green, although barely. We did close above the key, although barely. We closed the week around 31.30. The key is 31.27. I think that's a good sign. I think that even with the market ripping last week, we closed just marginally higher on miners, but I like this action. I think we're going to get up in this area. I don't know if we'll get all the way to 32.02, but I do think we'll get up in this area this week. And so it will be a very nice test to see if we can get some continuation. I do believe it will close higher just because of, I think, this positive price action in GDX. Okay, let's look at gold. So then I put even a Mr. T necklace set here, just in case, but I'm really happy with gold this past week. I think that, we back tested the key, 1788.9, and then we went higher. And I did say that if we could get above this 1811 area, I believe that miners would break the F out. And I still think that's true because there's not a lot of stuff going on in this area. There's some wicks and stuff, okay, but there's room for for gold to get up in here, and then I think that will sort of trigger the miners as well. So if gold is above 1811 or so, I think that's super bullish, actually, all the way up into this. Well, I don't know if it'll get all the way up here, right? But all the way in this zone. And it's still bullish. You can see, so you see the same MAs thing happening here, right? We're above 1, 2, 3 right now. So as of this past week, we closed actually above the 50 MA, which is a different color. Don't judge me, okay? But anyway, we're closing above the two big ones, or two little ones, and then also the big one. So we just need to try and hold that to get some momentum moving forward, get those MAs going up, and getting some Momo on the price action. Okay, let's look at silver. Okay, so silver is still below these MAs though, all right? Closed right underneath this channel, but here's the good news. If silver even opens flat, it's a breakout. I know, right? Isn't that weird? Anyway, silver for me is buy this week. First of all, we have off of this RSI support, we had a nice bounce, and 22 point, 80 is for me an area of interest if you are interested in attempting to go long here, although silver is very twitchy, so just be careful. And what I'd like to have happen is I'd like to have it close somewhere in this original buy zone that I had from over here, because that would actually be a back test of these MAs granted from below, but I would just like to see it try to get above these MAs before we decide whether or not it's going to get rejected or not. Okay, let's look at oil. So oil last week was a little bit crazy. Now this to me is starting to look like an ascending triangle, but I do wish it had chopped out a little bit more before it closed over this 72.52 line, just so I could get on board with it. To be frank, I was not watching it very closely last week because I was so involved in my ES slash XPX trade. So anyway, for this week, and you can see that we got above the 72.52 line, but got thwarted or stopped, I should say, at the 20 MA. I think that's the 20. Yeah, it's 20. So we're above the 9, we're still below the 20, and we're below the 50. But the good news is it's getting closer and closer there, right? If you're a bull. So for this week, below 72.52, no bueno. If you're a bull and you want to buy it, then if it does dip down to 72.52, yay. If it happens to open above this dotted lines here that also happen to coincide with 20, which are basically the low 74 areas at 73.98 to 74.16. If it closes above, a nice back test of that area would be great to buy. And then let's see what happens. Okay, now XOP, or the oil equity stocks. Now I was saying that if it got below here, that I was expecting it to come down into this area, but the handy dandy, and see, this is why I don't understand why people don't use MAs and weekly charts, because the handy dandy 50 MA held that like magic, really, right? I mean, lots of people draw lots of lines, but ultimately these MAs are super useful in general. Okay, so anyway, it got saved by the 50 MA. So as long as it can maintain above this 94.5 level this week, bullish for oil equities. Below 92.85 or so, which is sort of the bottom here, it's out of the channel, I know, but I'm going to give it some slack. But below this 92.85, I don't know, okay, but above 94.5, bullish. And then there is some resistance at 100.43. Okay, let's look at Natty. I gotta tell you, I was looking at Natty before. I don't have a clue in the world what in the world is going on. Okay, I can only say that it's got the 3 little horsemen here before it went up. It's got 3 little horsemen here. I mean, I don't know, right? So anyway, above 360.80, bullish. If you are crazy and you want to buy it here, I would buy it all the way down to 3.496, but below that, no, nope. Okay, it's good here above this 3.60 area. This is the daily, but below that kind of redemption yellow, no. Okay, there's a gap here. If it gets filled, yay. Okay, and then so forth and so on. Okay, I don't really know though. I'm not gonna just tell you something. All right, that's it. Let me make myself big. I'm a goober. All right, anyway, thank you so much for subscribing to my YouTube channel and liking my videos. I hope you have a super happy new year, and I will see you on the interwebs. Okay, bye.